Good evening. Call in order the Community Appearance Board meeting of January 22nd, 2020. Patsy, can you please call the roll?
Bob Neenstadt.
Present.
Jalinda Coudrier.
Present.
Randy Wasserman.
Present. Thank you, Patsy. I appreciate it. So we do have a quorum so that we can conduct business this evening. Next thing we need to do is just go ahead and swear in anyone who plans to speak on behalf of an application this evening. Normally we have the city attorney present who can do that, but she's not here this evening, so I'm going to go ahead and give it my college try. If you do plan to present any testimony or speak on behalf of an application, please stand if you're able to and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Pass?
Okay.
Okay. Make sure you tell Jen.
What a great job, Randy.
Okay. So pretty short agenda. Happy New Year, everyone. We haven't met in a few months. It's October 16th, 2019 was the last time we were here. So again, just a couple quick items. We've got the first item, which is the meeting minutes of that past meeting, which is October 16th, 2019. The board members present had a chance to go ahead and peruse those minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes for October 16th, 2019.
A second.
Okay, there's been a motion to approve the minutes from October 16th, 2019. That's item number 1 on our agenda. That's been seconded. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, those minutes are passed. So next up, we have item number 2, which is the installation of some accent lighting at Ellie Mae's Tiki Bar, 116 Jackson Ave. We have Mr. Dave Dickey here present from the building department. Do you care to provide a staff report to us, Mr. Dickey?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll make this brief. The applicant, Peg Schaller, who was sworn in just a few seconds ago, is requesting a level 2 review for the installation of accent lighting. In this case, it would be some LED rope lighting, which we'll get into here in just a second. At the Ellie Mae's Tiki Bar, which is located at 116 Jackson Avenue. This area is what I would characterize as a kind of a commercial area. It's kind of mixed. There's some residential further to the east towards the beach, and it's kind of a mixed bag in this area, but it's certainly within the city's commercial corridor. Now, LED lighting, which again is considered what we define as accent lighting in our city code, is allowed in the city upon approval from this board, the Community Appearance Board. So therefore it's prohibited unless this board approves it and says, yes, it's good, thumbs up. So that's what we're here doing this evening. And as the board recalls, we've done this on, 3 or 4 times over the last few years. And I believe the staff report indicates a few of those different locations. And interestingly enough, it's been in this general area that we've approved the majority of the LED lights. And just quickly, the code does spell out a number of criteria or considerations that the board needs to keep in mind as you're reviewing an application and deliberating on it. And it is, again, these criteria really falls to is what's being proposed appropriate for this immediate area? Is it harmonious with its surroundings? Is it going to be too, I'll use the word garish or out of character? And that's what we don't want to see. But in this particular situation, what the location, the type of LED rope light that's being proposed, the conditions that are being recommended to be put on this approval, I think all kind of, at least from a staff perspective, take me in the direction of, yeah, this is appropriate. This is something that should be approved. I do want to point out that there is a little discrepancy between the conditions that are in the body of the staff report versus the conditions in the recommendation. And so I do want to read the conditions in the recommendation. That's the wording that I am recommending that the board consider, and if the board goes ahead and recommends approval for this evening, then those would be the conditions at least from the staff, I would recommend be attached to the approval. And again, we are recommending that a level 2 application for the use of accent lighting for Ellie Mae's Tiki Bar located at 116 Jackson Avenue be approved, subject to the following conditions. 1, the accent lighting be placed in such a manner as to minimize light pollution, glare, and light trespass onto adjoining properties. 2, the accent lighting be turned off no later than 1 a.m. 3, the accent lighting shall not flash or change colors more than once every 60 seconds. And 4, the accent lighting shall meet maximum daytime and nighttime light level standards as measured in NITS, as established in section 9478. And NITS is a unit of measurement, light measurement. Yeah. I think it has something to do with headlights too. NITS, but in this case, we're dealing with light measures. So I had a lot of kids, not a lot, I had 4 kids, so every once in a while I had to deal with that. Anyways, so that's our recommendation, Mr. Chairman, and I certainly would be open to any questions. Your agenda packet did include the attachment 1 is an aerial, attachment 2 is the actual application itself, which includes a photo of the structure, shows where the rope lighting is proposed. You can see there's 32 feet along the front of the building, along the facade, 20 feet down the west wall, the side wall, I will call it, and then 9 feet down the 2 front corners, if you will. You can see also in this slide is a picture of the actual rope lighting itself, and then a picture of it, on a building. My understanding is that this is going to be the color that will be used. It's an amber color, so it's not going to be red or fluorescent green or white. It will be a kind of a muted amber color. And the rest of the application gives some details and some specifics on the proposed rope lighting or LED lighting. I do know, I believe the applicant does have some of the rope lighting that's actually going to be used. Might not be the right color.
It's not the right, yeah, it's.
But if the board so would desire, we can plug it in and see what it looks like. But it's.
It's not the right color, right?
Pardon?
It's not the right color, right?
Right. Yeah. It's white. Is this one white?
This one is red, but what it does do is it can show you the looms that it would cast, and you can see it.
Yeah, for intensity.
So, Mr. Chairman, that concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Dickey. I appreciate it. Very informative as always. Any questions for Dave?
I have one question for y'all.
So I was just going to ask, would you like to present any further information regarding, or maybe if you could at least approach the podium, please, and state your name for the record, since we're going to be asking you maybe 1 or 2 questions. And your name is?
Peg Schaller.
Thank you, Ms. Schaller. Appreciate it.
Okay, so it's going to be amber. This color over here looks orange. To me, is it amber? Because I've been told I'm colorblind. I'm just
It appears more amber. The color is amber. That's what it's listed on the package is amber, and it appears to be amber to me.
Okay, the other thing is that you mentioned it can't blink more than once every 60 seconds. Are you planning on having it blink at all?
It does not blink at all. It remains a constant color.
Okay, those are my links.
Yeah, and it's not color changing either. It just will always be amber.
I think it looks really nice.
Okay, so back to the blinking question. I'm glad I asked that. So, Ms. Schaller, do you have any issues with the conditions that are recommended by the staff report?
No.
Okay. I have to add, I like the amber as presented appears to present, a tie-in pretty well with the signage on the building that's existing there, and I think it was Exhibit 2. If you could cue that up real quick.
I can.
Yeah, the building, yeah, it seemed, I think, so is that amber intended to tie in kind of closely with the Tiki Bar sign and
It is.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, so that looks
The
nice.
color scheme that we have everywhere is the very warm color. You know, we have 2,700 kilograms is the light color, and that color just presents that warm, inviting color.
Would any of the board members care to see the sample? Does it feel necessary?
I mean, if you want to plug it in since you brought it, you can.
I think there's a, yeah.
I just thought since.
I mean, yeah, I had to schlep it all the way over here. You might-
There's one right here, behind you.
Yeah, it is, these rope.
I think we all seen them, but we still
Yeah.
want to plug it
They
in.
just go one color, so you don't see the dots. I'm not a huge fan of where you can see where each individual light is separated. So these lights just
Oh, yeah, okay.
go like this, but this is obviously not, not the color.
Right, yeah, it looks a little,
And it
so,
doesn't cast any light further.
yeah, I
Just-
see
If
that.
you're looking at it, it doesn't really cast the light.
Really true, it's true accent lighting there.
It sits in
Yeah.
a track.
Okay, yeah, gotcha, so
It
it,
sits in a track, so it can always stay straight.
yeah, the wind's not gonna blow it askew and stuff, yeah, so, yeah, that's good.
Somebody left the Christmas lights out.
Well, thank you, I do appreciate you bringing that, being able to demonstrate.
Yeah, it just gives you an idea. Thank you, sir.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion, any other questions for the applicant, or?
No.
Dave? No. I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we approve the application here, item number 2, for the accent lighting at Ellie Mae's Tiki Bar, 116 Jackson Ave, with the 4 stipulations stated and enumerated in the staff report.
I second it.
Okay, so we've got to go ahead and motion to approve the application with the 4 enumerated items in the staff report. Conditions they are, and it's been seconded. Any additional questions, comments from the board members? Any questions, comments from those present? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. I appreciate your time this evening. And
Plug them in.
go plug them in and get that track in there.
Yeah, lay the track first.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for your time this evening. Good luck with that project.
I'll do my best, no promises.
Okay. Anything to note? Any current happenings? Stuff coming down the
I
pike?
will just put on your radar screen that we've asked the city attorney to prepare, I'll call it a board, kind of a board membership 101 training session. Some of you may not benefit much from that, but, it may be worthwhile to get as a refresher. But it's basically going to be covering kind of do's and don'ts of board membership. Things such as, what's sunshine? What type of communication is subject to sunshine? What is ex parte communication, which means what should you be or should you not be discussing with people out on the street about upcoming cases that the board will consider. Things like that. We may get into a little bit of Robert Rules of Orders, which Randy, Mr. Chairman, he runs a great meeting, so I can't imagine you learning anything there, but.
Don't have to delve too far into them, but yeah.
Well, that would be me. I need to hit the
I think the most complex thing we've had is an amendment to the motion or something, but yeah.
Right,
yeah, so-
yeah, it can get confusing. So we haven't set a specific date, but the city attorney's office is preparing that right now, so I guess in the next couple of months, we'll have an opportunity to, and I think what we're going to do is rather than do it board by board, we're just going to have a group meeting with all of the boards coming in and
Stuff like that is applicable to any board generally, right? I mean, the sunshine law, decorum, Robert's rule, stuff like that, you know.
Exactly. So, excuse me, that'll be coming up. Also, I'll announce on February 14th and 15th, I believe, are the dates. It's a Friday and a Saturday. We're having an open house here. So
Oh, okay.
a year after moving in, we're actually going to have an open house. Public's invited. There'll be tours. It's 1 to 3 each day. It's a Friday and Saturday. I'm pretty sure it's the 14th and 15th of February.
Valentine's Day, huh? 14th?
Yes, exactly. It's Valentine's Day.
All right, so I can bring my, so I don't have to arrange a date with my wife. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think we'd go over pretty well to bring her to City Hall
Yeah.
for some snacks.
That sounds pretty romantic.
I might not be here after that.
So, but it'll be 2 days, so if you're busy one day, but that's very long we've been working on that for a while. Let's see, what else is going on board-wise? I guess that's it. I can't think of anything else specifically related to the board. I think
You
that's
don't
it.
have a full board though. On that here.
What do we have, I know at least one opening.
I mean, we have one opening.
Yeah, I believe we do.
Do we have anybody other?
Yeah, 3 openings.
We do have 3? Ugh, that's horrible. I need
3
to,
openings.
I'm being derelict in my,
It's a 7-member board, right? I should know that, right? 7-member, okay.
okay, we're having that problem, it's not just this board.
Yeah,
It's,
It's
we
tough.
hear a lot about public participation and getting people involved, and boy, where there's, when there's opportunities for people to get involved, it's just, talk and action sometimes are 2 different things. But I'll again say this, if you know anybody who's interested, please have them fill out an application and mark number 1, Community Appearance Board.
yeah, definitely.
And have them email Patsy or I with their application, and we'll get them in front of the council.
We should probably mention about the Board of Adjustment meeting, Randy,
And what?
and Randy.
And Randy?
We got the Board of Adjustment January 30th.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, so am I on the agenda?
Have we brought that to the city council yet?
It has to go to City Council after there's Board of Adjustment, or we won't.
Oh, have you done any interviews for that yet? Okay, well, what we'll need to do then is we'll work it out, but you'll need to go to, it's just
If you
like
still
we
need
do
my help,
boards.
let me know when to show up, yeah.
January 30th? January 30th, so. We're having such a hard time getting members, I'm having to recruit members of one board for another board. That's how tough it's getting, so anyways.
Anything new with the realignment of international, and is that still kind of on the paper and drawing board somewhere? I'm just,
Yeah, there's money in DOT's budget 5-year work program for design and engineering. I don't believe there's any money for actual right-of-way acquisition or construction. So that's not going to be anytime soon.
gotcha. But, so could somebody potentially buy that parcel and develop it? Would there be any constraints against them doing that?
They could, but then what would have to happen is DOT would come in and have to condemn it and go through a condemnation process and
Yeah, which is.
if additional right-of-way is needed, which I'm not sure that's the case, but yeah, they would go, obviously the price would be jacked way up from what it is today.
I'm just
That's the
curious.
problem with, the longer they wait, usually the more expensive it gets to buy that right-of-way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then, thanks, I appreciate you just passing along the latest there, so.
Yeah.
But I hear a motion to adjourn.
Motion we adjourn?
Second?
All in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye.